Britney Spears' biopic director John M. Chu speaks about potential casting for the biopic. Plus, we got to talk about all these Britney Spears conspiracies because sometimes, girl, they can be a little bit too messy, okay? But before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian and I cover all things pop culture. So if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. Listen, we gotta talk about Miss Britney Jean Spears, born December 2nd, 1981. Baby, one more time. Oops, I did it again. Britney in the zone. Greatest hits, my prerogative. Blackout Circus, Femme Fatale, Britney Jean Glory. We gotta talk about Miss Britney Spears because there's a lot of updates. There's an update on her biopic. John M. Chu, the director of Wicked, also is, of course, directing Britney's biopic based on her memoir, The Woman in Me. And we got to talk about fan conspiracies, okay? Listen, let's first talk about John M. Chu. He recently just did a little quick interview on a red carpet. So if you haven't checked it out, look at what he said about casting on the new Britney movie.
All the time about people who want to be cast as Britney.
I have to ask about the Britney movie.
Yes, of course.
I know that it's in treatment right now. It's not even a thing.
Yes.
But you had mentioned originally wanting to cast unknowns for Wicked, right?
Yes, for Wicked, yes.
Would you go the unknown route for the Britney movie?
I think whoever is the best part for this role.
Okay.
That's as much as I can say about that.
Oh.
But I don't, we're not even thinking about casting at this point. I'm just trying to make sure we figure out the story and the right, give us the right North Star for it. So.
I ask about casting an unknown because there are people dancing.
I get hit all the time about
singing,
people who want to be cast as Britney.
Complete unknowns.
So many messages, so many random, DMs and things of people who love Britney. I think that's the testament to the power of what she created. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well, listen, first of all, I love the idea of an unknown actress. I think that is phenomenal. I think it's a phenomenal idea because there's so many actors right now that are in the eye of the casting hurricane, if you will. And, some I just don't think, and that's why I'm not going to mention them, but I just don't think some are up to par, if I'm being honest. This is probably the most important biopic ever made. This is going to tell such an insane story to the world that not a lot of people know because, yes, The Woman in Me memoir was a humongous success, right? One of the biggest selling, memoirs of the past years, but there's still a lot of people who do not know what is going on with Britney or what has gone on with Britney, and they just see what they see on Instagram and just judge off there. So once this story really goes, worldwide in a movie that everybody is going to watch, I really do think that it's going to be very eye-opening. So if you attach a name of an actress that maybe doesn't have the best reputation or is not famous enough or not, talented enough or whatever, it's going to put a damp on the movie. But if you get an unknown actress, people are not going to know what to expect. But if you cast somebody that they do know, they're going to be like, oh yeah, it's going to be just like this. Do you know what I mean? So if you saw Wicked, you saw that this movie was beyond. I mean, it was absolutely bigger than life, okay? The vision that John M. Chu has, you also saw it in Crazy Rich Asians, which is just a masterpiece, and Wicked is also a huge masterpiece. So I do think that this is going to be huge, and I think that casting an unknown actress to play Britney, surrounding by a cast of maybe known actors, that would be maybe the best way possible. And I have been kind of searching for known actors to put my own wish cast. So I'm working on that, and maybe I'll do a video on it, but nobody asked me to do it, but I just thought it would be funny to do it. It's a very important story to tell. It's a very important story. It's a very important voice to be heard, which is Britney Spears's. And I know that John M. Chu is going to do amazing. Like he said, they're just working on the storyline now. They're working on everything. So, I mean, I think we're probably going to see this biopic come to theaters maybe end of 2027. Honestly, I think that maybe they're going to start working on the script and casting throughout 2025, and then maybe 2026 they'll film, and then they'll have to edit, and then it'll be probably out by end of 2027. So I'm very excited. I'm very grateful to see this movie and just very grateful for Britney's voice and her story to echo throughout the world. Now, I wanted to talk conspiracies. I get messages all the time by, from a lot of you guys that want me to mention certain things that are being said about Britney. Like, oh, she wore this shirt, that means that, or she blinked 5 times, that means she's asking for help, or this and that. I will say this, I'm not a big conspiracy person. But after after everything we've heard about Britney's conservatorship, I would say, listen, take everything with a grain of salt, but pay attention. Do you know what I mean? There's of course some conspiracies that I just don't quite agree with, like the cloning of it all. I don't know. I just don't believe in that. But do I think that there's some very shady things happened and happening? The reason I don't want to say that I think that there's shady things happening right now is because I don't want to think that Britney's in harm's way. I think one of the things that really is difficult for people to realize is that the Britney Spears that you see on Instagram, that's Britney now. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're never going to see Slave for You Britney or In the Zone Britney or whatever Britney you associate Britney to, whatever memory, that Britney is gone. Just like your past self is gone, right? You are a new person. Your circumstances has shaped you into who you are now, right? So I think that a lot of people want to believe that Britney is in hiding and that this is a clone and this is not real and this is AI and this and that. But this is Britney. And after everything that has happened to her, this is the effects of that. This is this is unfortunately the effects of what was done to her. And when I say unfortunately, I mean it in a way that I think Britney... Do I think Britney's 100% happy? No. I don't think she'll ever be 100% happy. I think it's very unfortunate that she's going to have to live with this pain, knowing what her family did to her. I think it's unfortunate that Britney Spears is going to have to always remember and have these flashbacks of these traumatic experiences that she went through. I think it's unfortunate that Britney Spears is never going to feel like she can trust people again because her own family did what they did to her. So how is she supposed to trust other people? I think it's unfortunate that Britney Spears' passion to perform was taken and was thrown in the trash, and now she's associating performing to a conservatorship. That's very unfortunate. What I see on Instagram, I don't think that's unfortunate. I just think that's Britney. I think Britney is doing what Britney wants to do.
I'm driving in my new car. I have no idea what kind of car this is. I think it's a cheap Corolla or something. But it feels like almost like it just kind of drives by itself. But I'm excited because I'm going to go ride horses. I'm excited. Here we go. Yes. Oh God. It just kind of drives by itself. But I'm excited because I'm going to go ride horses. I'm excited. Here we go. Yes. Oh God.
I think regarding the circumstances of everything Britney's been through, she's doing the best she can. And whether you agree with it or not, or you think that it's right, or you think that it's a form of concern or whatever it is, and she's not living up to what you thought she was going to do after a conservatorship, that's a you issue. Britney Spears is doing the best she can. And quite frankly, after everything she's been through, I'm surprised that she's still even trying, because it takes a huge amount of strength to be able to live on knowing that your family did what they did to you, in my opinion.
You are lucky she's even like smiling. You are lucky that she even wants to travel, that she's dancing, that she's modeling, that she's, enjoying her life as what we can see. Because after what was done to her, damn, it takes a very strong person to get up. And I admire her strength. So I don't believe a lot in the conspiracies. I do think that there should be some things and theories out there that definitely should be studied. But, this whole like cloning thing, and I don't know. I will say that I do think Britney does speak in code. And I think that Britney does sometimes send out messages. But I do think that there's some people that might think that they are connecting to Britney that might not be really connecting to Britney. Do you know what I mean? There's some people that believe that Britney is posting just to send them messages, and I think that that's just a very entitled way of thinking. I think Britney is enjoying her life as much as possible, and I think that like I said, what was done to Britney is inexcusable, And we just have to pray that Britney is doing positive things to be able to move forward and to live a healthy and happy life. And that's it, you guys. Like, that's why I don't do a lot of the videos you guys want me to do about Britney, because it's like, you know, I even saw this message like, oh, Madonna, she put Britney somewhere and she's cloning her because she didn't want another one to surpass her as pop queen. I'm like, there's some things that just, do you know what I mean? There's just some things, but I do think that there's some things that we definitely should pay attention to. So anyways, what do we think? Let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I am so grateful for you. And I'll see you all in my next video. Mwah.